Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is day 2 of the 7-day book challenge, where we try to write a draft in 7 days. Welcome. If you're new to my account, new to my channel, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name ST Hegyes if you're looking for longer works, and Kota Hegyes if you're looking for shorter works. I have a new book out today. It is a short story called Presumed Dead. It is the first in a excuse me, It is the first in a 7 short story series called Sultry Solstices. There is a QR code on the screen if you want to check out the series as a whole. So yeah, that's me. Today I am working on Just One Bite, which is a paranormal romance vampire story. This one will probably be published under SD Haggis because it is going to be, my estimate is that it's going to be 60,000 words, but we'll see as we get closer to a final draft how long it is. Not quite certain what it's going to be, but if you are here, let me know in the comments what you are working on today, if you're taking part in the 7-day book challenge yourself and all that fun jazz. And yeah, let's go ahead and go take a look at the comments. See who all is here with us. Rachel is here. Hello, hello. Sorry, I had leftover hot honey chicken for breakfast, and my mouth is on fire. So if it looks like I'm crying, I probably am because my mouth is on fire, but also it makes it feel better because I've been sick the past couple of days. So, it's actually making me feel a little bit better. Gotta love that combination of spice and honey to make you feel better when you're not feeling great. Rachel is finishing up an aggressively helpful writing advice article about direct sales. Nice. Right before we went live, I finished posting to YouTube about the fact that I have a new release today and to the Brimstone Books website about the new release. So that's what I've been working on this morning after getting back from dropping my husband off. So now I'm ready to switch over and work on my 7-day book challenge project, which is Just One Bite. How did I describe it yesterday? I described it as something, I can't remember what. Like a short description of it is the fact that my nose hurts now. Oh, that's not the one. A vampire king discovers his fated mate is a woman who hates vampires and must win her love. That's the short single sentence description of what the story's about. I got through chapter 1 yesterday. I started working on chapter 2. I think I wrote about 2,500 words, 2,700 words roughly. And my daily goal in order to finish this on time was about 8,000 words. Now it's jumped up to almost 10,000 words a day. I do have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So I do plan on hitting those days really hard for this challenge. Plus, on Saturday, I'm doing a 12-hour marathon. And I tend to get a lot of good words on a 12-hour marathon. So the kids won't be here, I don't think. We'll see. And then the Hubs has work. So that should make things a lot easier, at least on Saturday. And then because I have Friday off, I will probably be doing a lot of work writing on Friday. Sunday is iffy because of the fact that I usually do errands that day. I go and wash laundry and all that fun jazz. So I don't know if I'll get as much done on Sunday, but I'm still hoping. And then the other thing is that I'm doing these daily streams for a couple hours every morning, leading up to the 12-hour marathon, so I can get some words in. And yeah, this is probably the only time I'll actually work on this story during the day, at least until this weekend. But I'm still getting work done on it. We'll see how close to getting finished I can get. So this is one I've worked on several times. This is technically draft 3. I have not finished a single draft. In fact, actually, I don't think I've gotten past chapter 4 in a single draft. So we'll see what happens. Hi, Beth. Welcome. Welcome. We're getting ready to start our first sprint. For those who are watching who are new and never done a stream with me before, I have a timer on screen. This is Nixie, our Pomodoro kitty. We do 30-minute sprints. I like to put writing prompts on the screen for anyone who wants to write but is not quite certain what they want to write about. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. They're just there for some inspiration. So, yeah. Hello, Shannon. Welcome. Let's do this. Which day for the marathon? This is day 2, technically. Um, because I usually start things on Mondays. I like a Monday start week. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into our first sprint. Let me know what all you guys are working on today. And yeah, so here is our first prompt. Again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, it's just there for some extra inspiration. And this one says, they had us in the first half, but we came back stronger than ever and we beat them. We won. So that is our first prompt. It may or may not be influenced by the fact that the World Cup is on. I don't even know when the last game is. Sometime soon. So, yeah, that's our first writing prompt. For anyone who wants to use it, you can. Feel free. And we're going to start our first sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That is time. Everyone let us know how you did, what you did in the comments. I managed to write words. Give me a second to let you know how many words. That's 781 words. Not as much as I would like, but I did have to get up a couple times and do a couple things. And then when I finally came back and sat down, I forgot to turn the camera back on until like the sprint was almost back over. So there's that. Still in chapter 2, still working on this. These are longer chapters. So like I'm the first chapter, how long was the first chapter? The first chapter was just over 2,000 words long. I'm so used to short stories, and the short stories have had like the longest chapter has been about 1,500 words roughly. So it's so strange to be back into a project that's going to be longer, and so it has longer chapters, and it's just throwing me off. So 781 words is actually really good. I'm very pleased with that. Let's see. Beth said, I'm trying to finish transcribing my bread pen edits for Project Alabama. 978 words. Congrats, Beth. That's great. Shannon got 620 words. That is awesome. Shannon, what are you working on today, out of curiosity? I don't know if you said and I just missed it, or I am so behind on videos. If people have been posting videos about what projects they're working on, I have not seen anything. My watch later list is categorized by like how old a video is, and I have videos over 2 months old on my playlist of videos that I want to watch. So July, since I'm going to be taking hiatus, I'll be hopefully catching up on YouTube videos at some point. So that's the plan, at least. That and writing all the words. I'm now working a job where I get the next week's schedule at the beginning of the week. So like yesterday, we got the schedule for next week, and it's like a weekly schedule, and my schedule's all over the place. Next week, I work 2 days, 3 to 11. Then I have a couple days off because of 4th of July. And then I work 2 other days, but I work 4 to 10. It's very weird. I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, I'm like, can I get a set schedule, please? And maybe it's because of the holiday. Maybe everything will settle down. But at the same time, I'm so used to, when I was working at the clinic, I knew my schedule, like, not the clinic. When I was working at the hospital, we had our schedule set for an entire month. So I got a little spoiled. And then when I worked at the clinic, I had a set schedule. I worked 5 days a week, and that was it. And I worked the same hours those 5 days a week. Nothing changed. So now that I've got a schedule that comes out weekly and it changes constantly, I'm like, I don't like it. So that's fun. Again, it might change because I might get to a point where they're like, okay, this is the shift we want you on. These are the days we want you working, and it'll be set. So, but I'm not there yet. I do know that this is my final week that the schedule says I'm in training, and then next week I am no longer in training. So that's fun too. Let's see. Rachel says, yeah, I finally caught up on most of the videos in June. Yay me. Congrats, Rachel. That's awesome. I don't catch a lot of lives because I prefer to watch the videos, and now I'm behind on all the videos by like 2 months. I missed all of May's. I've missed most of June's. June's almost over. I'll catch up eventually. Maybe in July. Shannon says, I haven't done any writing videos lately. Finished up a prequel for one of my series, then moved into the final book of that series. Nice. Congratulations. I'm loving that. Rach says, I'm getting the deets together on cost versus profit on sales. Nice. That's going to be on your blog, right, Rach? I feel no, Substack. Is the aggressively helpful writing advice on Substack, or is it on your website, or both? I feel like it's on Substack. And of course, now the dog wants in, which is perfect because we're about to start another sprint. So I'm going to pause this in just a second, get us ready for our next sprint, and then we will go from there. So this is going to be sprint number 2. I think we're only going to do 3 today, just like yesterday, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I am still sick. I am still getting over whatever this is. And since I have to talk a lot at my job, I don't want to like ruin my voice completely. So we're probably only going to do 3 sprints, which is fine since I'm doing these streams daily for this week. And yeah, so here's our second prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Again, you do not have to. And it says, I like to think I'm a strong person, but with every day that passes, you test my patience and my resolve, and I'm about to break. So that is our writing prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Substack. Okay, cool. Again, you do not have to, and we're going to start this sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Everyone, let us know how you did, what you did in the chat. I wrote 1,021 words, which is my best sprint yet. And most of them were new words because I started a new chapter, and the original chapter was from someone else's point of view. So I'm rewriting that chapter with different perspective and starting events in different places. So that is what I've gotten up to during that sprint. I also let the dog in and the cat in, and then got bothered by the cat for a little bit because she's demanding attention from someone who is not here. Let's see. I don't remember where I left off. Rach said putting together Dietz cost versus profit on sales. I think I remember that. Substack. Though I may make it a video, not sure. I'm not a video vlog lover when it comes to making it myself. Fair. That's fair. So the one article will wind up being 2 or 3. Okay. I think I'm subscribed to your Substack. Feel free to drop a link if you would like. Let's see. Rach says, Overwriters Anonymous. My name is Rach. Yeah. Beth got about 1,000 words. Shannon got 637 words. Everyone's doing great. I'm loving this. It's been fantastic. Oh, thanks, Shannon. Eva's here. Hello, hello. Yes, for those who don't know, I have a new release. I released a short story called Presumed Dead. It is the first in a 7 short story series. It's paranormal romance, sweet, no spice. It came out today, and there is a link. I think I pinned a comment with the link. So yeah. Eva says, I was at Shannon's and forgot all about your stream. Dang, sorry I'm late. No worries. We're going to do one more sprint before we wrap it up. I've only added 200 words today, but the story is progressing. Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you, Eva. I'm really excited. This one has been published in the past, but I've expanded it, and it's now the first in a series. In fact, it's actually the first in a short story series that's part of a larger world. So the series that this one's a part of is called Sultry Solstices. The QR code on screen will take you right to the series page. But that series is the first of 7 series in a larger world known as Serenity Universe. And I'm still working my way through the stories of Sultry Solstices, but after they're done, I've got to figure out, do I want to take a break from the world, or do I want to hop right into the next series? I have conflicting feelings I haven't made up my mind about. So that's fun. And in the meantime, I'm doing things like this where I'm writing a completely different story entirely. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Thank you, Rach. Eva said, I figure I can get the bulk of my words Saturday when you stream, right? Right. You absolutely can, because that's going to be a 12-hour stream starting at the same time. It would be at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 11 Central, noon Eastern. Shannon says, Skye, did you say it was low spice? I had my dryer running and didn't quite catch that. Yes, it's no spice. Like, there's like one kiss in the story. I think story number 7 has the most spice, and it's not even spice. So, yeah, and that's just because that one's more of a slow burn. The characters get to know each other longer, so over a longer period of time. As slow burn as you can get with a short story, at least. I'm just saying. Because I think the last story in the series takes place across 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I can never remember exactly. Whereas the rest of the stories are like 1 to 2 days. So, in fact, the first story takes place all across 1 day. So, yeah. Eve says, I have added romance to this story, or the hint of it, I guess, but I don't imagine spice will exist. And Beth says, okay, time for me to head out. Thanks for the sprints. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Everyone's saying goodbye to Beth. And Shannon says, awesome. I will share it with my readers. They don't necessarily like spice. Thank you. I can't guarantee that other series in the same universe won't have spice, but the one thing I am doing with these short stories that I write is that it will say on the cover whether or not there's spice in it. So, like later this year in October, yes, October, I do have a werewolf short story coming out that does have spice, and it says on the cover, it says a short and spicy werewolf romance. Whereas these ones say it's a short and sweet monster romance, because that's pretty much what they are. So, with the short stories that we published under Kota Hegyes, they will say on the cover how much spice, and then the description themselves will also say how much spice, if any. And I that was one of the reasons I was struggling with what I wanted to do for the epilogue of the seventh story, because in my head I was like, I will introduce the character in the next series so that people can just hop right from one series to the next. And then I was like, no, because some of these series in this universe are gonna be spicy, and I know that some readers want the spice and some don't, and I wanted to be able to let them just hop around to the stories they wanted to read based on whether or not they wanted to read spice or not. So I was like, let me not do that. So instead, for the final story, the epilogue is actually going to be from the POV of the character in the first story, so that all seven sisters have their own story, but also an epilogue. Because I realized also that all the sisters except the first one got an epilogue, since their stories were introduced in the epilogue of the previous story. It makes sense in my head. I promise that probably sounds more convoluted than it is. But yeah. So I'm working on getting story number 4. I'm doing the final read through of it. I was trying to finish it up this past weekend so I could just spend this whole week on the 7-day book challenge, and that didn't happen. So I've still got to finish that up and get it sent off to beta readers. And then I've got to edit book 5. But book 1, 2, and 3 are already completely done. Book 1 released today, of course, but book 2 and 3 are also ready for release. They're uploaded to KDP. They're ready to go. I just need to finish the rest of the series, which I'm slowly working on that and getting it out and ready. So we're good to go. We're getting there. It's just taking some time. But yeah, all right. That being said, Nixie is giving us some slow blinks. She wants to get back to work. We're going to go ahead and obey her. I'm going to put up our third and final sprint for the day. Here's our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Again, you do not have to if you don't want to. It says, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I need your help. Ah, tastes disgusting just saying that to you. So that's our writing prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Again, you do not have to. And we're going to start this sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time, everyone, on the last sprint for today's 7-day book challenge stream, day 2. How did everyone do? Let me know in the comments. I wrote 946 words that time. Let me do some math real quick. Here, how many words I've written today total. Some of my keys are sticking on the calculator, and I do not appreciate it. That brings me to a total of 2,748 words for the day total. And the manuscript is now sitting at 5,485 words, which is amazing. And according to Scrivener, I have to write just over 9,000 words every day in order to finish this on time by the end of the week. So that's fun. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop this timer. I don't know why I let it go. Let's see how everyone else did. Let's see. Rich says, I have all 3 articles set up. 2 are completed. Just going to work on my last one in the direct sales series when I get back home. Thanks so much for the sprints. You're welcome, Rach. Where have you been out at? Are you at an event? I feel like there's a bunch of people doing events lately. Makes sense. It's like summertime, so makes sense that people are doing events. But I don't know what everyone's been up to lately as far as events go. Shannon got 1,739 words for the day so far. Awesome. And Rach sent a link for the Substack, so that's awesome. I'll have to take a look at that. I don't use Substack that much, but I thought I was subscribed to everyone, and apparently I'm not. So there we go. My googly moogly. There we go. I'm sub now. Okay, let's see. Eve said I wrote no words. That's okay. You were here. You hung out. That's lovely. Shannon says I have about 6,000 words left to write. Hope I can finish that today. You've got this, Shannon. Go ahead and do it. And Rach said, no, another appointment for the mutant eyeball. It's been a wild ride recently. I am so sorry. That sucks. I have a dentist appointment next, I want to say Tuesday, on the 30th, whatever day that is. Next Tuesday. I think that one's a cleaning, and then my next one, which is in July, is a filling. I think that's the way it works. I don't know. So I'm about to have a whole bunch of dentist stuff going on too. Let's see. Eva says I swapped laundry, vacuumed, and got the kid a snack, and then watched Sarah S.'s video. I think the next scene will take place at a stadium, a place I didn't realize existed at all. Gotta love it when you add scenes in that didn't exist before. All right. I think that's where we're going to wrap up this stream. I will be back tomorrow for another one. I'm doing daily streams this week for the 7-day book challenge. And then on Saturday, I'm doing a 12-hour marathon. Because of the 12-hour marathon on Saturday, I might not stream on Sunday. I have it set up, but depending on how I feel, I may or may not do a stream. We will see. That being said, I do have a new release today. There is a link in the description as well as pinned comment, and there is a QR code to the entire series if you want to check that out. Let's see, what else? I am going on hiatus next month, so this week is the last set of streams before I go on hiatus. We'll have a post that comes out at the end of the month basically saying that, or as a reminder of that. But there'll be no new videos, no streams, nothing but posts every once in a while that are already all of them are pre-scheduled because they're about like new releases and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think that's everything. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me. My phone says I've got mail. Thank you for joining me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Skye. I am a fantasy author who writes paranormal romance short stories under the name Kota Hegyes, the first one of which came out today, and I write longer works under SD Hegyes. So, yeah. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I will see everyone tomorrow for another stream. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.